Hello everybody and welcome back to Tracy's Florida Homestead. Today is Sunday, I think it's the 23rd of September. I kind of lose track. I wanted to give you another idea of how we're doing things here. Show you how things have come about since my last video. It's been about a month. It's been raining here. It's hard to make a video when you're knee deep in water. And just as we're getting dried out, I just watched the news and we've got Tropical Depression 9 coming out from underneath Cuba, which may turn into a Hurricane Cat 2 or 3 before the middle of next week. Coming straight for us. Man, I'm tired of the water. All right, I don't want to be knee deep in water no more. But welcome to Florida in the middle of hurricane season. So as you can tell, we were starting to clean up and prepare for this upcoming storm. There's only so much we can do, but we will be moving the major fruit garden around just so we can put them under the tunnels. So at least maybe the cattle panels will help direct the wind and cut up the wind so it doesn't tear up my plants. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to turn the camera around. We're going to show you what everything looks like now that we got the grass trimmed. Because it was knee-high, I'm telling you, we couldn't even get out here. And then you couldn't come out here into the tall grass without the mosquitoes wanting to eat you alive. And so we had to trim everything up today and get it a little cleaned up. I've got a little bit more to do, but hey, it takes time. So without further ado, let's turn this around and let me show you what it looks like today. All right, so as you can tell, Florida does do a good job when it comes to plants, because my olives are just blowing up, and I mean blowing up, all different 5 kinds. They're getting beautiful. They're starting to bud now, and so that means they're taking good root. I'm gonna have to find a place to plant them because now they're taller than I am, and the root system's getting a little big, as you can tell. This one is starting to tear, so that means the roots are getting bound. But maybe next year I have olives. Hopefully. The fig trees are coming into their own. It actually took a year since they were babies, and I've got like 7 to 10 different varieties of figs here going on. And they're getting big too. I don't expect them to produce too much this year. I expect them to produce next. And of course, I lost one of my loquats. This is the other loquat. She's looking good. Loquat? Yep, loquat. But she's looking better. I thought I'd lost her too from the winter. And I wanted to show you this. My pineapples, I transplanted them until I can make a nice bed for them. There are my red Hawaiians. They will produce a red pineapple, and I can't wait to get my first one. But it's going to take time. Some more yellows that I have, and the tiny yellows that I have turned into big yellows. Okay, I guess I got some good soil. Who knows? All right, so now that we're there, let's go back to the dragon fruit. Now, before that, I want to show you this. You see, this is a passion fruit. I bought this 2 months ago. It was about 6 inches high. It was right there, 2 of them. And this is 2 months old. I like these cattle panel trellises because it's so much better for the heavy stuff to hold on to. I got to show you this. Look at my dragons. My dragon fruit are just blowing up, and I mean just blowing up. That's a nice Amarillo. My tangerine is going to produce this year. She was really tiny last year. Y'all think you've seen my video of where we bought it and planted it. We both love tangerines, and I'm all for a tangerine tree. We have so many orange trees and grapefruit trees around us, considering this is Florida, that I really didn't want any. I figured I could just walk across the highway and pick a few if I wanted. These are my 2 reds. These are the oldest. These produced this year. As you can tell, this one's just finished blooming again, and I hope to God I get a Nice, pretty big one on this one. The last one was very small, but it was the first year. I can't complain. Usually your first year of fruit might not be as big and as potent as you like. And then this is the other red. And as you can tell, I've got some babies I need to cut off and sell. So this sprout will be for sale on Etsy later. The two will probably cost, the two long ones there together will probably cost $30 for the pair, because they are so nicely rooted, healthy, and they both have nice roots already on them. Now this was my 4-pack. You remember them when they were smaller. This was my natural mystic, my white Vietnamese, my sugar dragon, which I never thought was going to frickin' do anything. And she is finally getting one that's crawling up the side right here. And another one down here. They say they're slow growers, and they were right, okay? It took a whole year just to get that much from that sugar dragon. But usually they're worth the wait. And this one is, you see these two babies will be coming off. This is a Haley's Comet I will be putting up for sale later as a 2-pack. So these are some baby yellows that I planted. This is some baby yellows I planted about 4 months ago, and look at them. Yellows here. And they're just, the yellows are blowing up just as fast as the reds did. I got more yellows because the yellows seem to be more of what everybody wants. Okay, you're not going to believe this, but this was my Pink Delight. I remember I got these about 4 or 5 months ago. My Pink Delight and my Purple Haze. Okay, and look at them, 4 months. Okay, they just got to have water and sun, baby. Oh, and they can't get too wet. They're cactuses. You can't get them too wet. Now, this is my newbies of the group. This is the Voodoo Childs, and they are starting to get very big. In fact, I think this one's got one that's already up the pole. But these are my Voodoo Childs, and they're doing very well, very well. And just to give you a shout to see how things are going inside my tunnel, and what these are these the poles. I don't know, can't remember what he calls those type of poles, but T-poles, I'm sorry, they're T-poles. This is a cattle panel that you see up here, and I bent it into a hoop, and I've got it all attached to the T-poles. And I have found out that in the Florida sun, these things are great, and I mean great. I thought I dug up all of my ginger. Well, I guess I was wrong. This is my yellow passion fruit that I thought died in the wintertime. Oh, ain't she pretty? Ain't she pretty? And these are 3 new. The one here is a red pineapple, and this one and that one is a pink, which to me is probably just a hybrid between a yellow and a red, but who knows. Now this plant right here, it was supposed to be one of the sweetest hot peppers. My husband had found it on the internet. I think he got it from Hawaii or something like that. But I gotta honestly say, them little suckers are good. And I don't like peppers, okay? Let's give you a close-up of a ripe one. I gotta trim them here in a little bit. But they were good, and I don't like peppers. As you can tell, I've got to take my star fruit out of here because she grew so big. She is starting to bend over. My bird of paradise, both of them. They are getting root bound. The roots are coming out of the bottom, so I got to transplant them into the yard because bird of paradise prefer the yard. One of my grapes. Now, I've had this habanero plant for a year. That sucker's still full of habaneros. A year later, all of my little broccoli plants. Okay. And as you can see, all of our plants come back. My blueberry and my grape, my kiwi. I've got all of my butterfly pea plants are just going nuts. I'm gonna make me some tea here tomorrow. I got to get them off of my, me and these spiders are fixing to go to war, but I see that it's just wrapping around everything, so I'm going to have to get out here and kind of trim it up a little bit. I knew it was going to go crazy, but not that crazy. But look at all of my plants. They're just looking booyah. Remember how some of them were only like knee high? Ah, this is great. I can't believe it. And underneath this tunnel is where I actually got the butterfly pea plants going on. This tea is supposed to be one of the best teas Orientals drink to keep you healthy. We're going to find out. My blackberry saying hello. Raspberry. They're not looking too good. I don't think raspberries are good for Florida. I can't grow them at any time. And then more figs that are going nuts. My pineapple, or sweet potato has just taken over everything. Mulberry, goji berry, the purple passion fruit, and these are rainbow guavas from Hawaii. I don't know if they're actually different colors, they just call it a rainbow guava. And to let you see the piece of resistance, we're going to go back here to the back of the property. Here is where I keep my girls and boys. What few there are. You got to watch it through here because it's still wet from all of the water. As you can tell how the water was just soaking up. And there are my girls. I love these houses. I really do. It's easier for me to check them. And as you see, I have got plenty of airflow in there. I've got everything open. They have plenty of airflow for this heat. These two hives are not as big as this one because these two split a box. And it looks like I'm going to have to come out here and do some framework to it later whenever I close them off for bedtime. That's the one thing I like about those little hole things right there, is because you can close them up but still give them air. But these are very nice hives. I like the hives, okay? Well, I better get out of here because I've got cologne on and I think they can smell it. And as you tell, I have their own little bird bath here, and I have gallons of water I set around here so they can have plenty of water. You don't want them robbing the neighbor's house. But they're doing great, and I will be checking on them Monday before the hurricane. So I know what's going on. Well, folks, thank you for stopping by. I know this was a little long. I hope you appreciate it. If you have any questions, hit me up. You know where to find me. Peace. Have a great day.